Don't try to chase me.
Wait!
I'm not ready to be touched again.
Deadpool has done a lot of crazy stuff over the years. He's time traveled, joined the X-Men, and even somehow managed to kill the entire Marvel Universe. Twice. Why? Probably best to not question this complete lunatic, since, he's kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But amongst all that zany-ness, he has also managed quite a few feats that even some of the greatest heroes in the Marvel Universe haven't been able to do. Case in point, the time when he managed to lift Mjolnir, and became a Thor-ified version of himself. But how did this come to be? How the heck is this guy worthy of the hammer? Well, luckily I'm here to break down the story, and maybe even look at how we could see something like this happen in a future flick. Let's dive right into it.
Just trying to be the world's best X-Man. Sorry, X-person.
Okay, so at this point, it's probably safe to assume that most people understand the whole deal with Mjolnir and worthiness, since the MCU has brought Thor and his hammer front and center into the mainstream consciousness. But just in case you are someone who's been living in a bomb shelter blast from the past style, Thor is known for wielding a magical hammer called Mjolnir that is enchanted to stop people from even being able to lift it unless they are deemed worthy to harness its power. Basically, you need to be beyond reproach. Something that doesn't exactly describe Wade Wilson at all. However, during Deadpool number 37, which was released back in 2000, we got to see Deadpool not only wielding the hammer, but becoming a version of the Norse god-based superhero. Ridiculous head wings and all. In the comic, Deadpool is forced into making a deal with Loki in order to try to free his lady love, Death, from the stasis in which he was keeping her. See, Loki wanted the merc with the mouth to attack and take out Thor, which is a pretty big ask. I mean, he's an Avenger, not to mention a god. Though he manages to do pretty well, all things considered, actually managing to knock the hammer out of his grasp. After this, Deadpool figures, why not? And tries to pick it up. And to his surprise, he's actually able to lift it, and quickly becomes the new Thor. Kind of. He gets the cape and the armor and the head wings, but he's still very noticeably Deadpool. Just a Deadpool who speaks in ye olde English. And Deadpool or not, he's still rocking Thor's powers. So what does he decide to do with his newfound abilities? Well, he wins at carnival games, orders 37 gorditas from Taco Bell, and assaults totally not Michael Jackson. Oh, and he also tries to assemble the Avengers after being confronted outside of Wonderland. Because of course he does. Eventually, he brings Thor to Loki, though he pretty quickly turns around and frees the depowered Avenger. It is then revealed that Loki had been magically hiding Thor's real hammer, and that the one that Deadpool had was actually a fake. Thor, now complete with his real hammer back, then tries to take on Death, calling her a shade composed of evil. Now Deadpool doesn't take too kindly to this, and tries to stop the God of Thunder, only to get bashed in the head by Thor with both the real Mjolnir and the fake one. So yeah, after all that, Deadpool wasn't actually worthy, but it was still pretty cool to see him using Thor's powers to a certain degree. And despite not using the actual Mjolnir, and only getting to use it for one issue, it was pretty awesome to see. So now you're probably wondering, how could we see this on the big screen? What would it take to get it on film? Not very much, actually. And while we haven't heard much about a future Deadpool 3, I have an idea. Oh yes. Like always, it's time for some wild and wacky speculation. So, as I discussed in my last Deadpool video on this channel, Disney and Marvel haven't said much about the future of the Deadpool films. But they have mentioned that they might just let the films continue, separated from anything else that they are doing with their other superhero properties, which of course means the MCU. So Deadpool is going to be disconnected from that larger franchise, but that doesn't mean that he won't be aware of the existence of the other Marvel heroes. At the very least, he'll crack some jokes. But what if the Deadpool films are used as a vehicle of sorts for some more mature what-if storylines that can't be done in the main MCU? In this case, I'm talking about Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. In that original comic arc, Deadpool did exactly as the title says. He took out all of the major heroes in some rather comical ways. In Thor's case, he used Hank Pym's tech to enlarge Mjolnir as it flew back to Thor, crushing him under it. Pretty grotesque if you ask me. Now just imagine this. Say we do get a film version of this comic, and instead Deadpool takes Mjolnir, which still exists in this hypothetical flick, and transforms into Thorpool. who then proceeds to beat the ever-loving snot out of a weakened and broken Thor. Now, odds are this isn't going to happen. Ever. It's not exactly something Disney would be too keen to do. But you cannot tell me that that wouldn't be an awesome way to see Deadpool lifting Mjolnir on the big screen.
Think Ryan Reynolds got this far on his superior acting method?
As crazy as it is, how awesome would it be to see Deadpool wield Mjolnir on the big screen? Let me know your thoughts about how this could happen down in the comments below. And while you're down there, why not consider subscribing to ScreenRant for even more awesome videos just like this. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.